M0FXB. Welcome to my Flex 8400 learning videos. I'm not affiliated to Flex. This is just M0FXB learning and you're watching me. I highly recommend you download the FlexRadio website and then join the FlexRadio community for asking questions. And regarding purchase, there's dealers for this device all around the world, and many videos. So I've gone for the 8400 device. In the UK was just around £2,400. You can buy the model that does have the front, so the 8400M, and that costs about £1,100 more, and the front looks like that basically. I managed to get myself a used Maestro. Now this isn't the new version, which is the C. There's three models, A, B, C, and A, B, and C. Now I've just gone for the A at the moment. I managed to pick that for quite a low price, and then what I'm going to do is part exchange it. But I wanted to make videos on it on the same day that it gets delivered, which is today, which is the screenless model you're seeing on the right hand side. If you're not familiar with Flex devices, they are HF 6-meter radios, built from the ground with the thought of how can I control this radio easily from anywhere in the world. And then it's the cutting edge, they've sort of, they've just almost like reinvented the wheel, and it's been a great success. And there's several models, and they're now making the Aurora models, which are 500 watt. And they talk about slices, and I'm going to learn about slices as we go along. But as far as I can see, there's slices of frequency in front of you. You can choose the one you want to listen to, and you can listen to more than one at the same time. And the bigger the range you buy, because the 8400 really is a starting range, and after the 6000 series, then you've got the 8600 and so on and so on. So check all that out. So I'm looking at the guide because the device is going to arrive any minute. The way that the Maestro works, and this is the C model you're seeing now. I've got the A model. You can tell the difference by the power on button, but also the C model has an external HDMI, which I think is very handy. And you can move this around. It's, you can connect via Wi-Fi. It has an internal battery, and the idea is not only can you log into your own radio, which is connected when you first connect these radios, you connect to your broadband router at home. Once you've done that, then you can take your Maestro or connect to a laptop computer anywhere in the world. You can give your username and password to someone else, and correct me if I'm wrong, and they can log into your radio setup, if you've given them permission. Please confirm that, but that's what I'm seeing here. So it's an 8-inch screen. This is a big device. Don't think the front of this is small. The front of the Maestro is as big. I've measured it. It's as big and as wide, if not slightly bigger, than my 7610. Okay, but I'm enjoying what I'm learning. It's a fascinating way to use the hobby, and with great results and fantastic. The proof is in the pudding. I always believe that, and look at the reviews. So anyway, I'm just reading through the quick start guide so that I've got an idea when it gets here what to do. And I want to say thank you to everyone that's made videos on this, especially Flex, to help us do this, and all the pamphlets and all the downloads and support and PDFs and everything that's coming out here to support everyone and to help make this as easy and painless as possible. So you can print, they actually recommend you print the guide off, read thoroughly. Please don't take my word as gospel for what's going on here. I'm learning, yeah. So you get at the beginning, you're getting all your, you're getting the thanks, and then you're getting all the advice, some basic information and safety advice, all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna, I'm gonna jump straight forward to actually connecting. So it says here, number 2, making the connectors. And you are asked at this stage not to power on your device yet, but you can connect the Ethernet cable, and you've got the antennas on the back. And if you look at my photograph here from Flex, thank you Flex, we'll just show the antenna connect. You'll see there's your 2 HF on the left there, 2 HF antenna connectors, 1 and 2. So that's primarily the ones we're interested in, and then you can see the Ethernet cable there on the top right. And I'll just read sections. Carefully remove the packaging, identify the supplied accessories, place the radio in your operating position. Back panel, it shows the antenna connection, There's more notes on the left there. Then we'll scroll up. It says, do not power the radio at this time. Ethernet connection. Connect one end to the supplied Cat5e Ethernet cable, Flex 800. The other end, Cat5e Ethernet cable, should be connected to your router preferred. Can be connected directly to a Windows computer if you do not have a wired Ethernet network in your shack. Okay. And then it says, for more detailed description of the connection to 8600 to LAN or directly to your PC, please refer to your help desk article. On the left, it says ground. Remove the wing nut marked ground. Connect your central station ground to the screw and screw the wing back on. 3 speakers. Connect powered stereo speakers to the jack marked powered speaker. And I've got a couple of really good powered speakers. Power supply. The supplied power cable is shipped with Anderson power pole connectors at each end. If your power supply does not accept power pole connectors, you may want to cut off the power pole connectors from one end and install your own connectors in order to connect the power cable to your power supply. A power supply cable of 13.8 volts, 25 amps is required. The red wire is positive, the black is negative. Double check definitely double check them. You'd be surprised how often I put them backwards just by accident, just because I'm not being careful and double looking at what I'm doing. So yeah, definitely do that. Okay, well, the used Maestro has just arrived, A version, and so has the Flex 8400 non-screen version, but apparently it does include a FH3 microphone. So I just keep going down. It says number 2, headphones, and it says TRS plug, key paddle, GNSS antenna. Going down, and then now to familiarize ourselves with the buttons on the device. So on the left, this is the unit that I think they look identical, but I've got the 8400, and the power button with colored LED status indicator is number 1. So it's actually a status indicator. So this is a zoom in of the 8600M. So the screen, or the front part that we can see now, is connected to the actual Flex, where on the right hand side you'll see my box, but it's identical looking and identical in its layout to the Maestro. The new Maestro, obviously the C is the one I would highly recommend you go for. And you've got independent volume controls. It looks like bandwidth controls there, Mox tune, ATU, and my one does have the additional ATU module installed, which was actually an extra £400. And then you've got receive TX buttons, A, B at the bottom, VFO A and VFO B and clear. You actually push the button, the large VFO, to bring up the menu, or you tap the screen, and it's a touchscreen device. So I'm not going to go through it all with you now, but basically that's us familiarizing ourselves with the layout of the front head. So the rear panel, transceiver antenna ports SO239. We've got all the everything's numbered here. So number 1, SO239, number 2, SO239, number 3, looking here, there's a whole square there. Peripheral connections 1.8 to 3.5 for speaker, key earphones, mic. Note BAL in is for Flex 8600 only. Then number 4, accessory connector DB15HD, and GNS is number 5, that small one there. Number 6 says 1 PPS is not used on the 8400. Okay. Number 7, gigabit Ethernet port connection for an external display is only available on the M models. I was just curious to know, and that's if you've got a front screen, if there's a module that can be added just out of interest to allow for that. But anyway, interesting that that's the way they do it. GPS disciplined oscillator on number 9. Transverter B out socket and RXB antenna socket only available on the 8600. So you with the 8600, you pay more, you get more. That's all, of course you do. So now it says installing SmartSDR for Windows application on your PC. The SmartSDR for Windows application is the software used to interface with Flex and viewing RF spectrum, controlling the radio. And I watched a video the other day and they said it's almost like his actual words were, you're watching a movie, you're watching the movie that's being sent out from your Flex. So it doesn't take loads of processing. So that was interesting that he said that. So obviously you've got to download that, and as far as I can see, it's free to download SmartSDR for Windows. I know they're doing a new subscription thing where certain updates will be an extra charge, yeah. But they're always going to make sure that any bugs are fixed, and firmware updates where it's to address bugs, that's free. If there's new features being added, then there's a subscription fee. I think that's a new thing. So the idea is that once you load the software, and remember I haven't done this yet, which is, and then your Flex is connected to your router, that the software, when connected, is going to just detect it straight away. The other thing I saw was with the SmartSDR, and it does show here, to accept the user agreement. And I've noticed that when you turn the radio on, you can choose different firmwares, although I think it's not recommended to use older firmwares, but you can if you want. That's really interesting. And you're prompted when your radio turns on if there is new firmware to download and install. But it keeps the old firmware there. So we're just showing the installation here of the SmartSDR and the different visuals, and of course I'm going to link this pamphlet into the description. And here we are at the first screen, and I'm just going to read it because I 100% want you to read the instructions on this. To start SmartSDR, double click the radio in the radio's area of the dialog box, click radio once, and then press the connect button that appears at the bottom of the screen. Available indicates that you may connect to the radio. So the green means there's connectivity, and operating your Flex transceiver says the SmartSDR console will be displayed with one high definition PAN4 spectrum display and one slice receiver tuned to 14100. This thing where it's a slice receiver, it's a term for Flex. To tune the receiver's slice to another frequency, click the band button on the left-hand side of the spectrum display, then click the desired band. For further options on how to tune the slice receiver, drag tuning, click tuning, direct frequency entry, etc., please refer to SmartSDR Windows Guide. So of course I've got to learn this, yeah, because I'm new to it. And you can see there's operation modes just showing on the left there. Transmitting information. If you want to hear your transmitted audio, you've got monitor. Congratulations. So that's your quick start. Now what it is, if you use, just look here on the left here, it's at the bottom, it says SmartLink. Now you don't have to use SmartLink if you're just at home on your what we call the local connection. So if your Ethernet cable is going from you to the PC and to your router, well, that's inside your house, so we call that local. But if you want to start using this device outside of your house, then you're going to need to set up SmartLink. And my understanding of it after watching several videos is the second your devices are on the network, yeah, and you've set up SmartLink, then they find each other because you've got your own serial number, your own username, blah, 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 and they find each other. So then you can connect to each other anywhere in the world. And the idea behind that is that that would be really, literally click, click, and you're using a Flex. I saw one the other day, he was halfway around the world away from his Flex and he was using it. And you couldn't tell the difference, but obviously you need good internet connections. It's always going to be important. So I'm just going to go through SmartLink and just learn. And so I've gone to this page here with the new software installed. It's now necessary to update the radio with the new firmware. Okay, going down. Purchase version 2 license, it says here. Buy and log in. Create your SmartLink account. Keep going. There's your SmartLink login. And do you want to use Facebook, Google, or do you want to just create your own? I'll probably use Google, but anyway. And very important to be careful to note which type of credential you use to create your SmartLink account, as you will need to use the same credentials to access your radio from remote locations. Of course, register the radio with the SmartLink account created. It's time to register your radio in your account. Begin by clicking on the radio chooser, connect and SmartLink setup buttons will appear. Click the SmartLink button. The following window should appear. Click the register button. A brief period to establish a secure connection. A prompt to key the radio will be shown. Yeah, I saw that. You have to press something. Look, CW, key, mic, ACC, RCA, PTT. At this point, use a hand, mic, CW panels input into the radio. This cannot be done via the Maestro This cannot be done via the Maestro Mox button or any remote keying input. So you've got to do it on the actual. The process ensures that you are the radio owner, having physical access to the radio. So you have to plug something into the Flex unit. Yeah, I get that. When the radio is registered, the display will update to indicate the register status as shown. And there you are. Configuration for SmartLink. Press, you can unregister. Okay. Manual port forwarding. There's an automatic port forwarding. Now, port forwarding, you know, because I'm one of those people that have got a router in this room, then it joins to the main router, and the router in this room is spreading everything to my my radio gear. So I might have to maybe run it, because I'm not very good at configuring. I want it to be simple. I might just have to, and it wouldn't be hard for me just to run an extra cable straight to the main router, but just bear that in mind. It might not, the test might not pass in green if you're like me, but it's all learning. At this point, it's a good idea to test the SmartLink connection while you are local to the radio. Open network settings windows as shown above. Yeah. Okay. Click the test button. There's a test there. Look, see it? Connect to your radio, and you should. Yeah, troubleshooting there. So anyway, this is M0FXB learning in front of you. Yeah. I'm actually getting my brain ready. First thing I'm actually going to do is dig out my second-hand Maestro that I got, the A version, and I could have waited. There was a part of me that said wait for the C to be available in my town, southwest UK. I definitely wanted to have the headless unit because I've got so many screens and heads in my shack. I've just fancied something that I can just pick up and have this nice big HF radio, yeah, HF6, anywhere I want in the house without, because at the moment, if I want that big radio experience, high quality and all that, which is my 7610, I've got to pick up this giant thing and take it upstairs. I mean, I could configure it, I suppose, and use it with the RSBA1, but I like the thought of having something like the Flex with all the knobs and all the screen and everything in front of me, but quite lightweight, no heavier than a big tablet, let's say. But I want all the buttons. I know I can use I can buy the app from I think it's $99, is it, for the app, for the iOS app, the app. And I've got an app, a nice tablet here, like iPad, say. But I don't want that. I want something I can sit there, cup of coffee, and I can do HF, listen, tune around this big experience. And I do want the C model. As soon as the C is available, then I'm going to speak to probably Martin Lynch in the UK and just say, right, I've got this. I want the C. I've got the A. Do me a deal. And but I have got that option where I might keep the C, because I might think, well, hang on, I could keep one C, keep the C one wherever, and I could put the A one. Maybe I could take that out, out with me, out and about in the car, because it costs less. But otherwise, please check out everything yourself. I'm 100% not affiliated to Flex. I'm a big fan of Flex. I think I've really been enjoying learning Flex, and I've watched the people using it. I've seen the reviews, and I've watched the videos, and I think it's a good product. I think hopefully the more it grows, maybe the price will come down, because things like buying the Icom 7300, which is like £1,300, £1,400 possibly, with the new one, maybe 1,500. We've be nice to have a Flex option in that price range, so that people who want to try Flex don't have to pay at the moment another 1,000 on top. They can try it, and then if they love it, then they can go for the more price. I mean, when you're at this quality of radio, it costs. So you're either, you're going to have to work out a way to pay for it. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, subscribe, 7-3. All the